Hello, and welcome to this latest video. I have decided to entitle Owen. It will just be called Owen. By the way, I'd like to introduce you to me. I'm Jack. This is my favourite reading device. This is my Kindle. I am reading The Big Book of Lies that Hulk Hogan has told. No, I'm not. That won't come out. I'm actually reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Read it many times before, but I figured, 10-week holiday, probably more. Why not see if I can read the whole Harry Potter series? I'm nearing the end of book 5, so it's a good bet. Good bet. I've got many other things on as well. Here is my co-host, my childhood best friend, Tigger. Say hello, Tigger. He's quite silent. Here, read Harry Potter. After everything. There you go. He's reading Harry Potter now. Enjoy, Tigger. There we go. Anyway, I've written a few notes, so you'll see me being very professional and consulting my notes and looking this way. However, this is important to me. Just noticed I've got glare in my glasses. Can't be helped. Oh well. This is important to me because I think the greatest superstar, well, at least one of the most underrated superstars, is Owen Hart. Now, he's in the sort of conscious psyche of the wrestling world at the moment, mainly because of the Dark Side of the Ring documentary, which was just dropped a few days ago. If you haven't seen it, or even if you have seen it, I highly recommend giving it a watch. Martha Hart comes out very well, smelling of roses almost. It might come off as a bit biased. I think it could be. There are a few sides to every story, and I'm sure Vince McMahon's got his own side to it. But I can't see at the end of the day how it isn't just Vince McMahon at the height of the Attitude Era. Well, debatably, but there was no point in the Attitude Era where WWF wasn't exactly flush with cash. They were printing money at this point in 1999, and to save a bit of money, they got a professional rigger or someone who wasn't good, and you get what you pay for, obviously. And although in this case, Owen paid for it with his life. That's a horrible thought. But, and also, today is the 21st. Oh Christ, I'm old. 21st anniversary of that. Now, I mean, my first pay-per-view was just a bit after. It was Fully Loaded in 1999, which was 2 months after. In a way, I dodged a bullet, because had I watched this as my first pay-per-view, seen the man, well, you don't actually see Owen's fall on the pay-per-view feed. It's just a long, obviously wrong static shot of the crowd. Everyone's running around, don't know what they're doing. If I'd seen that first, rather than the fairly excellent Full Load 99, I don't think I would be a wrestling fan these 21 years later. Anyway, I've come up with a list of four matches I would recommend, and I've got one extra sort of dream match, if you will, and I recommend everyone watch. Just to remember the great wrestler was Owen, and I think it's a bit of a crying shame if anyone really remembers him, mainly for how he left this world. did great things on the squared circle. Let me tell you. First one I would pick. I'm going to pick these sort of at random, but there isn't a great pool I've come up with, so forgive me for that. First one is from SummerSlam 1994. The steel cage match versus Bret the Hitman Hart. Now, cage matches, like a lot of matches, apart from the Iron Man matches, they don't get retread too often. But cage matches do, even as tag cage matches, and they're somewhat played out. Same with ladder matches, but this one keeps it very fresh, and I've always got a natural aversion to cage matches when they're in that blue bar cage from the early 90s. Well, I think it was used up right up until last one was Valentine's Day Massacre 99. Oh, that is late. The old school blue bar cage, I've got a natural aversion to it because you can tell the wrestlers themselves they put on a show, but they're also really hurting themselves to do it. So the wire mesh cage is a bit better. More on that later, possibly. But in this one, Bret and Owen put on such a good match, good story. I don't even know. Like, I can watch it. I usually rewatch it like once or twice a year. I don't know why I keep coming back to it. It was at least 5 years before I got into wrestling. And it always seems quite fresh to me. I don't know. Maybe it's something that more modern superstars can learn from this. Maybe they do. And on that note, I say Owen versus Bret again at SummerSlam. Not SummerSlam, what am I about? WrestleMania 10, the opener. Now, it's Bret's first WrestleMania 10 match. He would fight again later that night. In the main event, I think it was Lex Luger. Yeah, that sounds right. Lex Luger for the belt. That was a good match, and quite like Bret's King of the Ring 1992 or 93 matches. He had multiple matches, but they were all very different. This Owen vs. Bret one, it just, the pace of it is insane. Probably the best way I know to describe it was a tweet quite a few years ago now that 99 Hart put out, where she said she was at the gym, and because it's got a little ledge on probably a treadmill she was using, she put her iPad on it and then just played that match. And you're thinking, well, how does that really sync up? But it does. It really does. And it makes it go very fast because they're in what seems like a ballet. Very well rehearsed, very well choreographed, but it's not. It's just two guys who are absolutely in sync and know what their Tigger's fallen down. He's had too much drink. Oh, well, it's Friday night. It's not like he has work tomorrow. You go for it, Tigger. Enjoy Harry Potter. But yes, I would highly recommend. Oh, my notes have gone. I would highly recommend that match. Very good. If you haven't seen it, see it. It's on the network as you would expect. You have, watch it again. You will not regret it. Moving on to our next match. Oh, little fact. I didn't know this. But originally in Owen's wrestling career, he wrestled under a mask. His name? British Bulldog. And this is before David Boy Smith took up the moniker. Little fact there. Probably win you a pub quiz one day. Never know. Never know. I've done that one, done. Yeah. Next one. Again, sends a bit of theme here. Has Bret the Hitman Hart in it. Owen Hart, Bret Hart, David Boy Smith, Jimmy Anvil Neidhart, and Flying Brian Pillman versus Legion of Doom, Shamrock, Goldust, and Steve Austin at WWF In Your House Canadian Stampede 1997. I want to say July 97. This, I think, was the unintentional last hurrah for Hart Foundation. They would go on for a few more months. Only 4 more months as this incarnation of the foundation before the unpleasantness in Montreal. However, it's so feel good, and by the way, Canadian Stampedes are about a 2.5 hour pay-per-view. It's a revelation, these shorter pay-per-views. Great for just watch, like, very small. You can just watch it, you're done with it, an extended lunch break maybe. Maybe if you go on double speed or something, it can be an extended lunch break. But, I mean, the Hearts do pick up the win, unfortunately. I've never really been a fan of the hometown boys winning their match, especially in the main event. But it does make sense in this case. The Canadian Stampede is a huge deal in Calgary, and to get the celebration at the end, where they get all the entire extended Heart family, and they've got a huge family, huge, and Stu into the ring, priceless, beautiful. I think there's one kid who gets in the ring who is not actually related. You see a young Natty Neidhart, and I think Harry Smith's there as well. One kid does get into the ring, and I think it's at this pay-per-view. Bret Hart says about it in his book. He's not related to Hart anyway. He's just a fan, and he just jumped the guardrail. Told the person at security, "Oh yeah, Jim Dodson must have said, 'Who are you?' Oh yeah, I'm one of the Harts, eh?" And he just got in the ring, and Bret Hart sort of asked him the same thing because he didn't recognize him. He said, "Well, I'm just got here to black my way in." And to his credit, Bret was like, "Oh, enjoy yourself, wait for the crowd." So, even though he's quite a bitter man for somewhat legitimate reason, I've got to give him that as well. Bit of a Bret Hart video, this. I swear it's about Owen. My final one, which actually happened, was at Survivor Series 1993. It was the Hart family. I don't think they were called the Foundation just yet. It seems a bit early for that anyway. Versus a team that was led by Shawn Michaels, so a Bret Shawn match, which at Survivor Series, which ended well. I know they had 2 other matches. Both were 1-on-1. One was Montreal. Not going there. Again, swear. It's an Owen video. Owen. It was Shawn Michaels and his Knights, and it's supposed to, this seems a bit odd because it was supposed to be Jerry Lawler in the build-up, but I believe Jerry Lawler got into trouble. I can't remember what it was about. I think it was indecent assault. Jerry Lawler was facing heat, so he was taken off TV, thank God. And again, I think this video is almost 1/4 hour long. Sorry. Very good match. Please put that on the WWE Network as well. Not the actual WWE. I mean, I know you take your cues from me, WWE, but I'm just imploring fans to do that, because why am I looking up there? because you will enjoy it, and very good match. And basically, Owen couldn't. The only bad matches he had that come to mind are maybe the throwaway matches on like Raw. Even promos, he was very good because he was the very not take it as seriously as Brett, be as technically skilled as Brett, not as serious. So, and especially when he was just really taking the mick as the Blue Blazer. My next pick is a dream match of mine, which is had Owen got on further if Over the Edge 1999 didn't happen, and further on, I agree with Chris Jericho what he said the other day, which is Owen would have had a bit of a career resurgence following this, because you got people like the Radicals, Chris Jericho, all coming into the WWF, and Owen was already leagues ahead of his competition, and with that sort of American hybrid Canadian lucha libre style from Mexico as well, which all of these guys also had, he would have finally found his own sort of like competition. So my dream match be what was sort of attempted at WrestleMania 16. It wasn't an actual thing, but we take Kurt Angle out the triple threat. I know it's just sacrilege to take Kurt Angle out of a big match. And we put Owen Hart in his place. 2 out of 3 fall match. In their case, they had it for 2 different titles. In this case, I think it would be just 2 out of 3 fall match, just to make it more interesting for a triple threat match. Oh, we would have loved it. And it would have helped save a pretty substandard pay-per-view. In fact, it's ironic. All the pay-per-views the WWF made in 2000 were really, really good. Apart from WrestleMania. It's just a weird fact to me. The last point is that obviously Owen going into the Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame. Would I like it? Yes. Do I think it's a possibility? Not realistically. I mean, I know I've said against this before that I think he could go in. It could happen. I mean, I've heard stranger things. Like, I never thought Randy Savage would go in. And, well, who was it? Oh, yes. When I went to Boston for the first time, turned on my TV in the hotel, and it was tuned into Raw. And I thought, oh, brilliant. Forgot Raw was on at this time. Watching that, first thing I see Jeff Jarrett going into the Hall of Fame. And I was like, did the plane somehow go through a wormhole to the second dimension? I never thought I'd see this. I don't think I'd even heard it rumoured before it was announced. And if I had, someone would have gone, yeah, I think I was going to freeze over before Jeff Jarrett goes into the Hall of Fame. Well, I have since found out it's possible, because now that WWF have given Jeff Jarrett a job again, possibly they'll be first in line to acquire the TNA video library when that comes up for sale. If it comes up for sale, I don't know. The Carter family must have deep pockets. Won't give that away for less than a few $100 million. But yes, so with that in mind, he's not going into the WWE Hall of Fame. How about when inevitably AEW will make one? Would he be good there? I don't know. Obviously, there'll be a few people in there first before he is. Probably Chris Jericho, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. Actually, there's quite a few names I can just rattle off the top of my head. But I think, especially given how cordial Martha Hart seemed to be with Chris Jericho on his podcast and in the Vice documentary, I think it's possible. Give it a few years. Owen Hart for for AEW Hall of Fame. You never know. Anyway, I've been rattling on for 21 minutes now, or just under. I probably should let you go. But before I go, I want you to do me one thing, and that is subscribe to the Gimme a Whole Year Facebook page and YouTube channel. Both quite excellent, I think you'll agree. And also, Tigger agrees with me, and if he says you're not down with the Gimme a Whole Year podcast, he's got 2 words for you. You should be. Meh. Tigger. Meh.